Yeah, hi. I just wanted to do a quick preview of a fight happening on Josh Taylor Bill vs. Catterall Bill. It's just an interesting fight. So it's the first Scottish area heavyweight title fight for I think 70 years or something, maybe more. And it's between a guy called two guys that have got a real contrasting sort of upbringing and background, and yeah, it's quite interesting. But we'll have a quick look at him. So the first guy's a guy called McFarlane, yeah, and he's probably what Scottish people would say he's a real wee character. You know, he's really over the top. He's got these stupid tattoos all over his face, his body. He's also fat. He's not oil painting. Maybe I should have included him on my ugly boxers list. But if you look at him earlier, before he got fat and before he got tattooed, he's actually seems to be a normal looking guy. Although he's got that guppy fish eyes kind of look. But now he's just, I don't know. I'm always suspicious of people who cover themselves in tattoos, especially their face. It's like, it's almost a bit of self-hatred. Anyway, enough of that psychology. So Jay McFarlane's got an interesting life, actually. He, from a boxing perspective, in his third fight, although he lost decision, he boxed on the Golovkin Triple G undercard with Daniel Jacobs at Madison Square Garden, which is pretty mad. He lost a majority decision there. He's got a 12-5 record, which isn't amazing. He's not a big puncher. There's 5 KOs out of those wins. If you look down his record, it's spotty to say the least. I think he did win the Scottish Cruiserweight title at some point, and now he's put on a lot of weight. He's weighing in at 276 pounds now. I don't know how he made on Cruiserweight. And he's 6'3". This weird part of the story as well with apart from the Madison Square Garden boxing match. I don't know why they chose him, but he was going to a family holiday, right, to the Caribbean when he was about 10 with his little brother. And his parents got busted for drug smuggling. Honestly. They found some coke in their luggage. So him and his brother, who was young, they spent a few months in a Caribbean orphanage before the grandparents came and took them over. So that's pretty mad. And obviously, as I said, he's a wee bit of a character. He goes a bit over the top, but he's quite fun. Here's what he's got to say about Campbell, his opponent.
Which, by the way, he looked to the floor twice and he was still trying to stare, and he said, "You look forward." I went, "I'm not looking anywhere," and I tried to tap his arm and say all the best, and he pushed me. He's like, "Don't fucking touch me." Big posh prick, Tory bastard, isn't he? Big Tory. Fuck Boris. Mate, fuck him. He's a prick. He's a prick. I liked him up until this week.
Yeah, you can see he's not a big fan of posh people, of Tories, and of Nick Campbell. I don't know what the little push around beef was, but whatever. In a complete contrast to McFarlane, you could say, Nick Campbell, he was a rugby player at a decent level. I don't know what. He played for some half-decent club. He went to university. So McFarlane probably got a bit of grudge against that kind of background, and he lays into him a lot. This Campbell guy, if we look at his boxing, he came in, he had about 15 amateur fights or a bit more, maybe 20. If you look at him on the pads here, though, he's like a bit stiff, He's a bit novelty something about it, and the way he throws the shots, they're not hitting right. He's obviously got a bit of power. He's had 4 KOs in 4 pro fights, although against total bums. He's a clear favourite here, which I'm not sure about. He looks a bit clumsy. McFarlane, if you look at McFarlane when he's hitting the pads, he doesn't seem to have as much power, but the way he's moving, he clearly knows a bit about boxing, He's ducking, he's diving, he's got an interesting, he can turn, he pivots, So I actually think this is a really interesting fight. I mean, weirdly, Campbell, I found him at 10-1 favourite. So if you bet on McFarlane, £1, you'd win 10. So, which is, I thought was really way too wide. I mean, I thought it was going to be more or less an even fight. So I've actually put a few, five on it or 10 on it, I might do. Because there's also a grudge match. Obviously, every fight these days seems to have a beef and grudge. But I think it's quite an interesting fight. It'll be a fun fight. I'm not saying it'll be the best. But, yeah, I think, I don't know. I'm going to take... I'm going to take a shout out and say McFarlane wins on points, or maybe by late stoppage.